I think we can start the webinar. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming today to another webinar of the Kent Business School. This webinar is called Unlocking Your Potential, Gradual Employability Insights for Your Degree at Kent Business School. We have with us today Dr. Zita Stone, who is the Associate Dean for Postgraduate Studies in KBS. We also have with us Amanda Mondereo, Senior Careers Advisor, and Helen Johnson, Careers Advisor, who are going to walk you through their slides as well. And we also have with us Dr. Nicola Erhard, who is the Lecturer in Careers and Employability at Kent Business School. And Dr. Erhard will bring with her as well 3 students to help you out and answer all your questions and also provide an insight with their experience. So after each section, we will be able to take questions from you, and then we will have a Q&A at the end. So please do put your questions in the chat or the Q&A button at the bottom, and we will take your questions. So without further ado, I will pass over to Dr. Zita Stone to start the webinar. Thank you, Zita.
Need to unmute there. Good morning, everybody, from Canterbury in the UK. It's great to have you here with us. This is the third webinar in our series of webinars for all applicants who are due to start with us in September. As it is getting closer and closer to your start with us, we are now focusing the last 2 webinars on employability. So as Maria said, we have a team of colleagues here with us who focus on supporting all of our students on making them employable graduates at the end of their degrees. So before we progress with what we want to take you through today, I just want to take this opportunity right at the beginning to tell you about the next webinar. It will be the final webinar of this series, which will be on the 3rd of September, again starting at 9:30 in the morning, and that will be focusing on the strategies for graduate success with your Kent Business School degree, and I believe Maria will be posting in the chat also the link there for you with all the information. What I also wanted to highlight, and this information will be going out or maybe has gone out already, is our free optional quantitative workshops, which are starting from the week commencing 9th of September. So you can attend these in person or online. You need to register. They are, of course, I think more relevant, strongly recommended for those of you who are coming to study with us, the more quantitative courses. So those would be any course which has got analytics in the title, because we will be taking you through some introduction on the programming languages, but also any finance degrees, logistics, supply chain management, but they are open to all applicants, and as I said, you are very welcome to attend them in person, to get to meet us already. There will be a social event in the first day where we will have lunch and we'll get to start to know you. But if you are waiting for your visas, for everything to be sorted before you travel to the UK, and you cannot be with us in the week commencing 9th of September, please don't worry, because you will be able to attend these virtually. And then from the following week starting 16th of September, it is the welcome week, where we have a series of workshops, induction sessions, orientation talks for you. Again, The relevant ones for your degree, we will be running them hybridly. So if you cannot just be here for the welcome week, although we would strongly encourage you to try to make travel arrangements so that you can be with us, it is ever so important that you start your degree well, and you understand and you have all the correct information, then please, from the 16th of September. And needless to say that from the 23rd of September, everything starts. So that's the first day of all your classes. But the focus is on employability today. And I just wanted to again pick up and remind you of some of the key highlights and key employability opportunities that we are bringing to you. And this is just a selection of three of the many initiatives that my colleagues will be taking you through today. So with us as a postgraduate degree student, you will be able to network and grow. And oh my goodness, how important is that for your careers? So you will be able to meet industry leaders. Last year we had 2K Solomon, who you may remember from the Dragon's Den on television. And there will be workshops, events, mentoring support, and everything packaged as part of our KBS Business Startup Journey and the Aspire Centre. You will be encouraged and you will be given an opportunity to work on problems and solve problems that matter to organizations. So you will be invited to work in cross-disciplinary teams. That means you'll be working in one team with students from different degrees. So it may be a student from business analytics, logistics, supply chain management, finance, and digital marketing analytics. You'll be put in one team so that you can be addressing the real problems that our organizations here in the southeast of the UK are facing. You will be presenting to the audience of academics, industry leaders on the challenges of tomorrow that they are experiencing. And through your degree and through your learnings, you'll be already able to suggest to them what they could be thinking about. And oh my goodness, local businesses are telling us how invaluable the advice they are getting from our students is. There is also another opportunity, a little bit of virtual gaming. So you can practice of how you invest competitively. You will be able to develop your finance skills by managing investment portfolios through a 3-month simulation. It's a trading simulation. You will be competing against other students and staff. So it's really good fun where you can perhaps beat our colleagues as well. This is open to all students. You don't have to be studying a finance course. Again, we feel that something like this is important to all of our students. As I was preparing and thinking about this session, I inevitably came to one of my earlier slides, and it's my go-to. And again, I just want you to think about the key competencies that we say we will develop with you, for you, as you are going through our degrees. And ultimately, we position it as what is the end game here. So as you are listening today to my colleagues on all the different employability support, everything that there is available, I want you to have this in the background, at the back of your mind, and just think, okay, it's the subject knowledge. So clearly I have to demonstrate that I understand the degree and the subject area and the discipline I've come to study. But there is everything else. There is the global perspectives, the thinking about sustainability and ethics, the making of data-driven decision making, the being able to communicate. And these are just of the 5 core competencies that we know employers value. And there is everything else that comes around it: leadership, resilience, being able to work in teams, being able to take responsible risk-taking. So all of that is something that we will help you to develop, see, demonstrate evidence. And as we are going through today's session, I just like you to have that in the background of your mind. And I think finally, before I hand over to Amanda for the first session where she will take you through some of the detail, I again want to come back to the experience, because you come here to study, and ultimately your experience through that 1 year of studying with us, again, everything that you do, whether you become a student rep, how you engage in the equality, diversity, inclusivity activities, how you form your student journey, everything is taken and for us embedded through the lens of employability, because ultimately we support you in a number of ways. There is a support for everything that you may need, and creating career development opportunities that will boost your employability is exactly what we are here for. So I think this is what I wanted to say, just to set the scene. And without further ado, I'll hand over now to Amanda, who is our senior careers advisor, to take you through some of the support and activities and examples of initiatives that the team will be taking you through once you become Kent Business School student. Amanda, over to you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Theta. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the webinar today. As Theta said, my name's Amanda and I work for the University of Kent's Careers and Employability Service. And myself and my team, one of my team members is here today. Our role is really to support your development in terms of thinking about your career aspirations, the experience you need, how you want to get there, and making sure that you have a good level of knowledge about the UK market, what employers are looking for, and how to get through the recruitment processes as well. So I'm going to kind of give you an oversight in terms of what the market's looking like, some things you need to think about, and then I'm going to take us into how our support will help you develop those skills. So, just to get started. So, what I would be really interested in, just to kind of get us started, is just to get some insights from you, really. What do you think would be helpful to support your career development journey whilst at Kent and beyond? Now, let's hope the tech works. It should do. There's a QR code. There's a QR code there. If it doesn't, could you just, and it's not scanning in, it's no problem at all. If you could just put in the chat, what do you think would be helpful for you to support your career journey? And we'll see if the technology works. Okay, I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to think about it, and it might be something that you need to reflect on and come back to us. So I have right, let's see if these things never always work. Okay. Brilliant. I'm seeing some answers. Sorry, I did stop sharing, everyone, just so I can jump onto the poll myself. Okay. let's go back to screen share. So it hasn't popped up. It hasn't popped up on the screen. But some of the things that are coming through were part-time jobs, CV support, networking, employer contacts, workshops, interview skills, and a range of other things. When you get the slides after this webinar, I'll make sure the information comes through on the word cloud. So I'm pleased about that, because that's everything and more that we'll be able to offer you. So it's brilliant that we're on the right guidelines, and what we offer is what you're looking for. So let's just kind of have an overview of what the market is. Now, I am talking about the UK market. I appreciate here the audience, some people, not everyone is going to want to work in the UK. But for the sake of today, we're just looking at really, how competitive is it really to work in the UK? So I thought I would just share with you some data to give you an accurate insight into kind of what our market's looking like. And it's positive. On the surface, I'll have an infographic to share with you later that draws down into more for our postgraduate population. But what you can see here, so the ISE, sorry for the jargon, everyone, is the Institute of Student Employers. And what that is a body that works with all of the large corporate organisations who look to recruit students and graduates from not just from the UK, but globally, and they get their information. And what they are reporting in 2023 was there was an increase in the amount of graduate jobs. What that means was there is an increase in the amount of jobs they are looking to recruit to. So that's good news. That's good news for anyone that might be looking for a graduate role or might be looking to work within that particular sector. And as you can see, there is a definite increase on pre-pandemic levels. So the market is looking positive. Another interesting question is that we always get asked is about the typical salaries for graduates. What I would say is it is very sector dependent. It's also very dependent on your past experience, the sectors you're going into, whether you're looking for a career transition, whether you're just looking to go for a more senior position within your current sector. So it is very dependent. So that salary there is an average salary for a postgraduate student. And in terms of competitiveness, as you can see, the average number of applicants has actually dropped from 91 to 62. So that's the number of applicants that are applying for per graduate for graduate roles. So you can read into that the market is opening up and you stand a really good competitive chance. And like all countries, some of the sectors that we are experiencing growth in are there's professional services, the built environment, engineering, health, pharmaceutical. Again, within those sectors, there is a massive variety of roles, levels, wherever you're looking to go in. And that's what we always say about sectors. Every sector has a wide range of business operations. So that kind of gives you an overview of how competitive it is really in the UK. The next thing I thought would be is another question that we get asked, that you might be thinking about. You might be thinking about yourself. There was some of the comments on the word cloud I noticed talked about this, is how easy is it to get a job? So we've looked at how competitive it is, but the reality is how easy. And what I would say from a career service perspective is it may be the same experience that you've faced before when you're looking for work, and there's multiple factors, and you know, there's a very much like the salary, it does depend on the job sector. It depends on how flexible you are about location, graduate schemes and other types of jobs, which I'm going to come on to. They just in terms of kind of how we look at them in this market. And this bottom bullet point is what we spend and give everyone a lot of support on, is how much you learn about UK job applications. Like, what do employers look for? How do they pull out the best skills from your applications, from your CVs, from your resumes? So these are the services that we will be helping you develop, and the skills, so you have got a brilliant understanding of what is expected in your applications, whether it's for a part-time job, a placement, a graduate role, a volunteering opportunity, whatever you might be looking for. It can give you you can get some insight. And before I move on to kind of what the service actually does, is a lot of the success depends on what you put what you put into it, really, in terms of, and how much you engage with the activities. As you heard from Zita, there's some brilliant activities, both extracurricular and in the curriculum. So, you know, getting involved, making the most of the opportunities. You'll hear later from my colleague Nicola, who is a lecturer in the business school, who will also be sharing with you some brilliant activities that they run. Perseverance, it's tough. So it is competitive. And yes, it's difficult to get a job, but having self-belief and perseverance to keep going on and coming to get support. You're not doing it on your own. At the university, we believe in what we do in terms of career support, but you need to come and ask for support, because we get what you're going through. And managing your timelines are tight. In terms of when you start your course, you're coming to, not necessarily if you come into another country, a different institution, you're starting on a new course, you know, there's a massive there's a learning transition. And then if you are looking to go onto a graduate scheme or work, the companies recruit early. They start recruiting in September. So time management is key. So with all that in mind, I just wanted to present a very, this is a really busy infographic, and you will get this afterwards. But there's a couple of things. The things that there's some brilliant stuff in here. But what I wanted to share with you was in fact, in terms of this links to getting a job and being competitive, is the amount of postgraduate students that come and study. This is a UK-wide infographic, and manage to find employment, full-time full-time employment. And as you see, many of those will be through the graduate route at graduate level jobs, so professional level jobs. So these surveys look across the market as showing that the market for international students is really positive. So there's lots of great information on there, and as you see, some of the top subjects are around business and management as well. Okay, let me carry on. If there's anything that I've mentioned that you're not sure, please put some comments in the chat. My colleague Helen is who's a careers advisor, is also looking at the chat. So we've talked about the market, but in terms of how do you navigate the UK labour market? So what I've put here is the different ways that employers across the UK recruit postgraduate students. Some of these you will be really familiar with. Others, the terminology you might be familiar with, but how it recruits from how companies recruit from one country to another changes. But what we have here is all of the different ways that you can go about finding experience, a job, a placement, part-time work, self-employment, any freelancing, temporary work. And for most postgraduate students, you will end up having to navigate all of these different areas to gain skills, to gain your employability skills, and to develop the skills that the recruiters are looking for. Now, what you'll find is when you join us, you'll be given much more insight into the specifics of each of these in terms of, but I just wanted to present how diverse the market is, and in terms of how employers will be looking to offer opportunities for you. So I think that's a really positive thing. And back to this, so in terms of looking at all these different entry routes, a graduate scheme, a placement, a year in industry, an internship could be a summer placement, it could be something for a few weeks in a vacation period. The direct entry role is they're looking for specific skills and knowledge that you may have gained from previous experience, as well as your postgraduate degree. So as well as kind of understanding, which is understanding what the different ways to get a job are, and how recruiters looked to employ, is the key thing is to understand the recruitment methods. And again, what you'll see here is the main recruitment methods used by a range of employers. So not just big global employer names that you might already know. Many of you may probably already working for them in some form or other, or have already done that. But for many, Zita mentioned lots of small to medium-sized enterprises that work within Kent. So they use a range of CVs or resumes, covering letters, which shows your motivation and skills, psychometric testing, which is basically a range of online tests to test numerical, logical thinking, verbal reasoning. Very, very common. Again, they're called selection tests, behaviour tests. You might have already done them, but the term might not be familiar. And then we have a range of, for many companies, their first round of interviews are done by video. Again, some of them is using video interview, a platform which I'm going to introduce you to, and some of it will be more like a Teams chat, like a Teams meeting. So it's really common. It's really common for the first round of recruiting that you would do it through a video, and equally, it's very, very common that a lot of the whole process isn't done in person. Especially if you're based in Kent and you are going for a job on the other side of the country, employers are really aware of the practical nature and how effective doing something on Teams is. So practicing. So I think the key thing is understanding these methods and getting as much experience to fine-tune your skills, to have good CVs and really strong covering letters. And that's, I suppose, just to emphasize that's what we do in the career service. That is our job, to support you to develop those skills. So, with that in mind, I was going to try a live demo, but for timing. So in this country, I'm just going to pick the CVs because I did notice that a lot of you were mentioning wanting some help with CVs. So many of our recruiters, when they are filtering and they're uploading jobs, when the applications come through, they use what we call applicant tracking software, which again, it's a lot of software that sits in the background of a platform. So you might be applying for jobs, you might be uploading your CVs. I'm sure you've done it before, but behind the scenes, what happens is a piece of code is inserted, which helps filter the skills and the behaviours that the employer has said that they have looking for, that they've advertised on their job description, which you would have seen, against the information you have put in your application. It's really, really common, and it's a way that companies, that when they're recruiting en masse, they may get lots of applications, how they filter and start to long list. So in order to support you, we have a very, very similar, there's lots of different pieces of tech on the market, but we have one in the career service that's exactly the same piece of technology that many recruiters use. So before you're sending your applications live, you can test, you can try your application to see, well, is it meeting the skills? Where does it rank? Am I likely to get longlisted? So you can get that feedback. So then before you submit your live one, we can do some work on it. You can come and speak to someone. So I just wanted to kind of show you what it's like. There's links at the end of this presentation that you can go on and have a look at it on the front of it. So let's imagine you found a job, you've seen a work placement, or you've seen a graduate role you want to apply for. You've spent some time looking at the skills. You've been speaking to an advisor about how to tailor your CV and your covering letter. But you think, you know what, I want to try it. I want to make sure that I've stood the best chance possible. So what you'll be presented with, these links are all on our website, is this front page. And as you see, very simple. Once you get your Kent login, you click into log in, and as it says, to target and enhance. So you think, right, It's very simple. It takes seconds. So it's a brilliant tool for you to use. It's all as part of your University of Kent. It's all free. So then you put in your Kent email. And then what you'll get is a chance to upload your CV and your job description. And so you copy and paste a job description in, and by the magic of technology, seconds, what you'll get is a result like this. Now, this is one that I uploaded. This is one that I uploaded yesterday. And what you see on the right-hand side of the page is the job description, the skills that the recruiter was looking for. What you see on the left-hand side is the analysis, and it says your CV is missing keywords and skills, and it might result in you not getting past the automatic screening. So this way, you can then come back, you can speak to myself or Helen or another careers advisor and say, look, this is how can I tailor? And you can keep doing that until your score, we say any score over about 60% is a good kind of long listing tool. And then it gives you kind of more in-depth information. So these types of tools are what you don't necessarily see when you upload your application, but this is how companies filter. And we find that the feedback that we have from our students that have used it has been really, really positive in terms of it helped me pick out things that I'd missed. I've overlooked my CV and covering letters so many times. So we, as a service, have invested in a lot of technology to make sure that your applications are going through the same process as it would with our employers. And I also touched on touching very quickly. So I can see I'm nearly out of time, but I just wanted to show you again about psychometric testing. Again, what you see is a portal, and you can log on. So a company might have given you a link, so you can go and do some trials. It's the same sort of scenario. And as you see here on these screens, as I said, you'll get these slides afterwards. You can pick. There's lots of different types of tests, as you can see. It's quite small on the left-hand side, and it gives you the most important thing on this screen is actually it gives you results in terms of your strengths, your weaknesses, accuracy vs speed. Most of these tests are timed, and how you can go about approving it. So that's kind of, we've got a lot of other technology, but I just wanted to share a couple of kind of live ones with you. And so just to wrap up, really two more quick slides is that I wanted to introduce the team. So it isn't just myself and my colleague Helen and Nicola that are on the call today. We have a team of placement advisors that will support you if you're looking in your year in industry. We have an employability advisor that supports you with helping with your CV. So the support at the university is vast, and it's all there. And as I said, the more you can access support and reach out. So we have a vast team of people that we're able to support with. So lots of great advice. We run quick advice, careers guidance. So if anyone's sitting here thinking, well, that's all right, but I don't really know what I want to do, you can book appointments. We've got a really up-to-date, brilliant website that you can go in. It's open source, so you can go in and have a look yourself. lots of advice. So there's things that you have said that you are looking for. I'm confident that we can support you. We can support you with this. There's a mentoring scheme. So if anyone would like to have a mentor that has studied in your area before to really help you see what the market's looking like, you can sign up to a mentoring scheme. So that's kind of some of the key things that I wanted to share with you, really, in terms of what the market looks like. And just to say, as a career service, we have got loads of support. There's lots of opportunities to develop your skills as well. And we would just really, really encourage you to we'd really encourage you just to come and access the services and get some support. Apologies, everyone, I have run over time slightly. I am now going to hand over to my colleague, Nicola.
Thank you so much for this, Amanda. There are a couple of questions that have come through to you in the chat, if you don't mind answering a couple. One of the questions that's just come in is, how do we get to book appointments with you in the career service?
Brilliant. That's an excellent question. On the slides that are going to be shared with you, on the last slide, there's a live link. You can just click into it and it will take you through automatically to the advisors, the different types of appointments. So you don't have to choose. All you have to select is a time and date that works for you. We do everything either online or face-to-face. So really simple, and the system does all the hard work for you, but there's a link on the app, that last slide, Maria.
Thank you so much, Amanda. We'll just take one more question and then go on to Nicola. So we've got a question of, I'm not sure what careers advice I need right now. Will you be able to support me? So can you take a student who are not sure how to progress or where to start and help them through this?
That's such a brilliant question. So thank you for posing that. And really, that's the job as careers advisors that myself and Helen do. So we are really here. If you're looking, thinking it's all brilliant, all of this, but I don't really know what I want to do, we'll sit down and we'll start to think about what motivates you, what you're looking for, how to go about it, and really kind of start to have a conversation with you from a starting point, through different coaching and guidance techniques. So if all you come and book an appointment saying, I don't know what to do, that's fine. We can start from there. So you don't need to know what you want to do to book an appointment, if you get what I mean.
Thank you so much, Amanda. That's great. So we can move on to Dr. Nicola Eckhart now. She's just trying to share her slides. So we'll just be a moment here. The slides that we see is a different screen, Nicola. So just need
okay,
to the screen with the presentation.
Okay, let's do that. So share.
Okay.
Is that sharing now?
We've got the notes one, Nicola. If it's possible, there should be one that you've got that is the actual PowerPoint, but
okay.
maybe
Just while I'm doing this, just if people could put in the chat where they're dialing in from, that would be really helpful for me. So let's just, not sure what is happening here. So
I think they are fine, Nick.
Okay, Nicola.
Oh, okay, so you can see them.
Yes.
Okay, great. And so everything's good to go, yes? Let me just move my camera. So welcome everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are dialing in from. My name is Nicola Urquhart and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the programme Postgraduate Employability Edge. What I want to do is just introduce you to myself and my colleague who will be taking you through the Postgraduate Employability Edge programme. So we put our LinkedIn details. In Kent Business School, we absolutely love LinkedIn. We see it as the public persona of what your private ambitions are. So we spend a lot of time making sure that your LinkedIn profile is as good as it possibly can be. And you can connect with us even now. So a little bit about me. Previously, I worked in finance, and then I've been working in the business school as a lecturer in careers and employability. And my colleague, Sophie Davis, has a background in recruitment. So we are absolutely here to help you to achieve the next step in your career. So some people, we know that you're coming for career acceleration. And some of you might be coming for career reinvention, or you're maybe thinking about entrepreneurialism, or you're maybe not sure, but you're just thinking, do you know what? I need a change. So what we have done is we have put together a programme so that no matter where you are in your career journey, you will have support. So it's absolutely tailor-made for KBS Business School and postgraduate students. I can see in the chat lots of people are saying we want to speak to employers, we want to speak to people that have previously done the course. Absolutely. In the sessions, we will have employers coming in. It might be we've had consulting companies coming in before, we've had large multinational organizations, and for example, Enterprise have come in, and we have lots of alumni who come in. And in a few minutes, I'm going to invite some of our amazing alumni from Kent Business School who are going to talk to you about their career journey. It's delivered online as postgraduate students. We know that you're really busy. You'll be attending classes, you'll be studying, you might be working part-time alongside studying. So what we've done is we've created it so that it's online. And get rewarded as well. We work in partnership with the Graduate Researcher College so that you actually get credit towards the Global Skills Award and also employability points. And not in this webinar, but in the one we've got coming up in September, you will actually meet students who through the employability points scheme secured full-time employment. And really the whole premise of the programme is to help you to gain the employability edge. As Manda said, the UK recruitment labour markets, they are looking good, but it's still a competitive process. So we really want to make sure that as a Kent Business School student, that you have that edge. So I'm not going to talk you through all of this. We might do a bit more in the September session, but this is an overview of what the programme looks like. Picking out some of the key ones, that first one, how the graduate labour market works in the UK and internationally. There are lots of different labour markets. If you're looking to work in investment banking, or if you're looking to work in fintech or marketing or healthcare consulting, it's really important that you start to understand the nuances of those different markets, and that's something that we'll be supporting you to do. Okay, so and then in the spring term as well, I wanted to point out longer term career planning and mindset. If you come to Kent Business School, you're not just coming for 1 year or 2 years. It's a lifelong relationship that you will have with the business school. So for example, when you graduate, you can access support from the career service for up to 3 years. But even after those 3 years, you might be coming back, you might be presenting to current students, there'll be events, there'll be summer schools that you can attend, for example. So just a little overview of the programme. So what I'm going to do now, and this is my favourite bit, I'm going to invite 3 of our alumni, so Nikki, Femi and Varunda, to join us. And I'm thinking that what I might do is stop sharing Okay. Does that me stop sharing?
Not yet, Nicola.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, I'm having difficulty not sharing, so you will just have to trust me that they are the best looking alumni. So yeah. So let me try again, see if I can.
You can see them, Nicola, thank you.
Okay, you can see them. Brilliant. See what I mean? Aren't they gorgeous? Our alumni. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to ask them to introduce themselves briefly, just say what they studied, when they graduated, and a little bit about what they are currently doing. So, Femi, can I start with you?
Yeah, sure. Pleasure to be on the call with you, Nicola, and my other colleagues. So my name is Femi Baigun. I'm in finance professional. I've been in finance for about 7 years. I studied a master's in finance, investment, and risk at the University of Kent, and I currently work within investment banking, specifically global rates at JP Morgan Chase and Co.
Okay, thank you, Femi. And Nikki, could you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Nikki Ansari. I studied business analytics at Kent Business School. I graduated September 2023, and I'm currently working as a modeling associate at the university, working on consultancy projects that the university gets from their industrial partners.
Thank you. And Vrinda?
So, hi Nicola, I'm really happy to be back again. So my name is Vrinda Vinod. I completed my master's in business analytics with a specialization in finance in 2021. I'm currently working as a senior analyst with ARM. We kind of focus on enhancing design through automated control in the collection and recovery sector.
Hey, and I'm going to be asking our alumni some questions, but I really want to hear what your questions are for our panel. So do be putting those in the chat. So Femi, thinking about your role in JP Morgan, what from the course do you feel that has helped you in terms of what you do on a daily basis?
Well, quite a lot from the course. I found the course quite it was quite robust in the sense that the specialization, especially, I mean, in the MSc Finance suite, you have various pathways. You have the finance with fintech, finance on its own, the finance investment and risk. And when I chose to study the MSc in finance investment and risk, it was because I had like a knack for investment banking, and that was really what the area I wanted to tailor my career towards. I found the course bang on the money in terms of learning those things I wanted to learn that would give me an edge into extending my career in that particular field. Secondly, I found a lot of support in terms of hands-on time that I had with lecturers. Would have lectures, would also have seminars, would have tutorials, and I found that at the end of the session, a lot of things that a lot of concepts that I'd known theoretically, I was able to regurgitate them in a more intuitive way, and just in general, the course really helped my understanding.
Brilliant, Femi. And how did your interest in JP Morgan start? How did you hear about them?
Well, I did have a banking background before I took time off to come do my master's, and I knew I was going to more or less toe that line as well here in the UK. Funny enough, JP Morgan as an opportunity came while I was in school. JP Morgan came to give a seminar, like an hour-long seminar, where they spoke about different roles within investment banking that they're potentially looking for graduates to fill. And fortunately, I applied. I was able to network as well, go through the stages, and here I am today.
Brilliant. And I know we've had conversations about how much you enjoy being with JP Morgan as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's an exciting place to work. It's an exciting opportunity. It's everything everything that you probably had it to be and more. And yeah, I just think my master's program definitely gave me that sort of edge, that sort of level up that made such an opportunity possible for me to take when it presented itself.
Right, because we think about career growth, career reinvention. We also think about career happiness as well. We spend a lot of time at work, and I think we owe it to ourselves to find careers that are rewarding to us. So, Nikki, could you tell me what from your course was useful in helping you to secure the opportunity that you're doing now?
Yeah, sure. So overall, the course involved a lot of like different software, a lot of coding, and that's obviously really helpful. In this day and age, you have to know coding to want to do anything, basically. And also, more specifically, the simulation modeling course was really helpful for me because the role I'm in right now is I basically build simulation models, and I was introduced to simulation modeling through this course, and the simulation modeling professor ended up becoming my MSc dissertation supervisor, and we did a sort of industrial-based project together, and that sort of led to this role, and she's currently my manager now. So it was pretty direct.
Fabulous. And Verinda, can you just say what from your course was useful, and maybe just a little bit more about where you are in your career just now?
Yeah. So obviously during Masters in Business Analytics with Finance, I think there were quite a few valuable skills that I gained throughout it. I believe it was a very well-structured course. It had the best of both worlds, like, tech and business. And I feel like the course was quite pivotal to kind of help me analyze complex data, just derive any actionable insights to make kind of informed decisions in various projects that I've been part of. So few courses were R programming, working on SQL, for visualizing data. I think that's so critical as being a consultant, as being an analyst, because you have to visualize data on almost a daily basis. Another underrated tool I would say would be Excel, because there was a course I think I did which was finance with Excel. So I kind of learned how powerful it can be for data analysis in banks, because on a day-to-day basis, I feel like Excel is used in the banking sector. And I think I also remember taking a course in risk management, which provided me with the skills to identify, mitigate risk throughout different projects during my course of the past 3 years. And I think the last one would have been project management, very helpful, allowed me to kind of juggle complex projects, keep everything on track, going from the initial design phase to like the implementation. So I believe they have been quite pivotal in my role as a senior analyst at Aaron.
Hey, brilliant. Thank you. And just thinking about the people on the call that are thinking about coming to Kent Business School, they have lots of questions, often they're at a point of transition. Femi, what advice would you give to an applicant thinking about come to Kent that maybe wants to work in the UK after graduation?
So in terms of advice, I'd say I think planning is very important. I think that's the first step in terms of figuring out. I mean, you may be able to figure out early or along the way, but have like a clear idea of what you want to achieve and also clear timelines, right? That's very key. Number two, in terms of the course you're applying to, research the course and make sure that it's a course that's going to give you value in terms of employability, in terms of what the areas of your careers or personal skills you have that you want to improve on. Thirdly, I'd say give it your all, right? I'd say start things very early, take full advantages of the resources. I found a lot of the resources that the university had to be very useful. The library is well resourced, I never had to really struggle for information. It's all there. But I think the most important thing is you realizing that you have it to use, and you have it to use to your own benefit. So I think those are the few key things. And just lastly, to speak um, in terms of also the end itself, I mean the program is a means to an end. The end itself, start very early, start leveraging these resources to know how to write a good CV very early, to know how to put yourself out there very early, take interviews as they come. Some might not be successful, but you learn a thing or two about yourself, a thing or two about your communication style, how you come across to people, areas of improvement you need personally, and along the line, those are minor tweaks that you can make that will ultimately make a big impact when a good opportunity comes.
Thank you, Femi. And Nikki, what advice would you give? And I wonder if you could just touch upon, because you attended some of the Postgraduate Employability Edge sessions, and then you were able to network with alumni. Could you maybe talk to that a little bit?
Yeah, so I agree with everything Femi said, and I think as important as it is to, take your studies seriously and do all the work, it's also really important to go to all the, extra events, including the Employability Edge events, because you can definitely network with people who are in the industry, and that's the most important thing if you want to get a job in the UK, is to find people who can refer you to companies, and networking is basically the most important thing. So, taking advantage of these opportunities, going to these events, getting in touch with people, connecting on LinkedIn, getting advice with them, even just talking to them about their role and, asking what they do so that you can get a clearer understanding of what they actually do on a day-to-day basis. I think, yeah, that's the most important thing. And also something else is that this might just apply to the business school degrees, but for me specifically, I was really focused on getting an industrial, like a real life project for my dissertation rather than, a theoretical one. So I was really focused on finding someone in industry to give me a project to do for my dissertation. And I was sort of asking everyone I knew, even in industry, the professors, and I ended up, securing the project with my simulation modeling professor, and that sort of led to my current role. I think that could also be a good strategy if you're interested in doing like a real life project, is to sort of keep asking people if they have an opportunity for a project that you could work on for your dissertation. Yeah. Okay,
thank you. And Verinda, what advice would you give? And we have had a question, I can't remember, did you do a placement year?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Okay, so if somebody's concerned that they're not doing a placement or they don't secure a placement, what advice would you give what advice would you give to them? And I just wanted to check, because I think I recall that you are an international student, and you're now on a skilled worker visa. So if that's the career trajectory that they want and they're concerned that they're not doing a placement, what advice would you give to them?
I think the first thing would be starting the application process really early. Don't keep it till the end, because I think that gives you a really good head start to be prepared for what's coming, and kind of familiarize yourself with the interview formats, take online mock assessments to prepare, because I think that's a good place to get started with. I feel like getting rejected from your interviews is just a form of redirection on how you could improvise or kind of do better. And I think working with the employability sector at Kent to just tailor my CV and prepare mock interviews was really helpful as well. And I think one more thing would be do a ground research of the company that you're working with, familiarize yourself on what they do, because I feel like when you talk about them and, show that enthusiasm, it kind of helps you in the interviews as well. And I kind of secured this role through LinkedIn because I found that as a really good place for applying for jobs and getting more responses. And I guess coming to the next topic is it's a little difficult being an international student because you have a lot of visa restrictions on you. And I think that kind of holds you back as to what's coming. But after I graduated, I was on the graduate visa because I feel like that's a great opportunity to allow yourself to prove what you can bring to the company stable for the first 2 years. I feel like that period is, perfect for proving your value, building important connections with the company. So I recommend kind of not hesitating to apply to startups or mid-sized companies, as I feel like they often, offer significant exposure and learning opportunities. So after 2 years, I switched to the skilled worker visa. So my company had to go through the process of obtaining a sponsorship license, which they did with the help of the solicitor. But yeah, I think it's worth noting that some companies might be hesitant to sponsor someone right away. So make sure you highlight to them that you're already on the graduate visa when applying or in the later rounds of the interview, because I feel like this can make it easier for the HR and improve your chances of progressing through the interview process. So make use of the graduate visa opportunity when you get it.
Okay, brilliant. So just in the last few minutes, I just wondered, Maria, are there any questions for our panel that we should answer just now?
Yes, thank you so much, Nicola, for that. There is one question that we would like to ask the students. How did you know what support you needed when you were in your course, or you actually did not know and you just went with the flow and see what the university had to offer to you?
Who would like to take that?
Are you asking? Okay, I can take that. I think for me, knowing the support I needed more or less stemmed from constant researching, right? Because I had like a very sound idea of the industry I wanted to go into and what I wanted to do within that industry. I had a background in corporate finance, and coming here, I more or less wanted to transition from corporate finance to more of derivatives. And I did the research in terms of what is required in that industry, the type of conceptual knowledge I'll need to have, the kind of practical knowledge I'll need to have. Like again, like one of my colleagues said, networking to find out the day in the life in the role. And when you have that information, it helps you to now tailor out, okay, what do I need from the school? It might not really be from employability hedge, for example. It might be more about being closer to a particular lecturer, because that topic or that course is very key to the particular area you want to pursue a career in. Or like my other colleague said, tailoring your coursework, your project work in such a way that it gives you practical experience such that you are able to hit the ground running when you eventually secure an opportunity in that role.
Brilliant. Maria, any other questions?
Thank you, Nick. We do see all the questions that the applicants are putting in the chat. We will take them all at the end of the Q&A sessions. So at this point, it would be great if we can hand over to Zita again for the final side of this webinar. Thank you, Zita.
So Nick, before I take over, would you like to just tell applicants about the webinar that you will be leading?
I don't know if you can see the slide. So we're really excited. We're going to get to speak to you again. We're going to have more amazing alumni, and it's going to be strategies for graduate success. So the theme of this is going to be think strategically, think globally, think Kent. So do sign up, and we really hope to see you at that next session. Okay, thank you everybody, and thank you, amazing panel.
Indeed, thank you very much. I think as I start sharing again my slides, and as I am getting ready, I just want to ponder a little bit. I was listening to the amazing advice that Amanda was giving earlier I thought, oh, my own CV could go through a checker like that. It's amazing, the technology and what there is available to our students. It's it's constantly being upgraded, improved, and it's what we all could benefit from. So I was really impressed with the types of services, support, advice, one-to-one, in person, and also virtually. We really have access to the latest technology, so that we really tailor your readiness to being able to secure the jobs. And then Nick, through your session, and again, amazing alumni, and I think I am so impressed, of course, with what they have achieved and what amazing ambassadors you are. And that is just a sample. We have students across all our courses who are just like the three, Femi, Nikki, and Randa, who we had today, just the communication skills, how you come across. So, with all your answers, all your knowledge, credible, composed, just like I can see you in meetings with your bosses, with your managers, and yeah, we are beyond impressed with where our graduates and our students go. It is just really humbling and amazing to see what our graduates are able to achieve. So I think I just want to use this opportunity to really share this with our applicants, because we are here with you at the start of the journey, and of course once you start being our students through the journey, and it may be difficult, demanding at times, assessment deadlines, and being able to attend everything. And maybe, as some of you have said, but I don't really know what advice I need. I don't know what. So we are there for you. But I think what I want to reiterate is, through what you have seen and you've heard, is look at the graduates, look how amazing they are, and oh my goodness, yeah, could not be prouder to be part of Kent because of our graduates. So yeah, I just wanted to share that, because I think that's quite unique what we are able to do here at Kent and Kent Business School. So Maria, before we progress to the final Q&A, I just wanted to, so of course we talked about the next set of events, we talked about, what our degrees are to offer, we talked about the student experience, and I just wanted to use this final opportunity just to cover a little bit about applications, deadlines, scholarships, because I know that that is very important to our applicants. So I think I will just round up that to say to our applicants what is still available, and any admissions questions that our students still have. You see, I already refer to you as our students, applicants. You are already our students. Just put them in the chat and we will be sure to answer them, if not straight away, via our admissions team. So I think the first thing to notice is, for some of our courses, we offer January starts. So if you feel that I'm not sure if September, or actually I might not have everything ready, January starts is an option for 3 of our courses. And do know that for those, there is still the early bird discount. So that is a different deadline. You would have to apply by 10th of November and pay deposit by 1st of this December, and starting in starting in January 25. But I've added it there just so you know that on healthcare management, strategic project management, international business and management, we do offer currently January starts. So there is that opportunity to start in January, and there is the early bird discount. Course director scholarships at Kent Business School. So they are still rolling. They are still available for September 2024 entry. They are up to £2,500. You must have a first class honours degree to be eligible for this one, but please do know that that is still open. And finally, although some of our, or most of our, because of where we are in terms of the admission cycle, Kent Future Student scholarships have closed, there are 2 that are still open and available, and that is for Hong Kong and for Malaysia. That is still for the September 24 start. So if you are from that region, you can receive, and once you have an offer, pay your tuition fee deposit by the 31st of August, you can get a discount of £2,500 from your tuition fee for 1 year of study. So I just wanted to highlight those 2 that are still available. And the link, of course, is there. And Maria, if you could kindly put the link to international scholarships, international students into the chat. So again, you don't have to wait for the slides until we send them to you, but I'm sure you've had a look at this already. And I think my final slide is again just the deadlines. So all of the applications deadlines, they have passed now. So we are now in the area of the deadlines for all of you to meet offer conditions and accepting the offer. And you can always see what are the different deadlines for those of you who are applying as home students, so you do not have to have CAS, and for those of you who are international students. So that deadline is approaching 18th of August. Please make sure that you do everything on your side and that you contact our KBS admissions team if you still have any questions. The CAS issuance deadline is 5th of September. And then from our side, we start, as I said, from the 9th of September with the quants workshops, the welcome week from the 16th of September, and term 1 of your studies starts from the 23rd of September. We need to have everything sorted from your side. Your final registration deadline that you need to meet is Friday, 20th of September. I also posted the link for the University of Kent term dates. We'll be resharing this several times, so just you know what the term dates are when you will be able to travel back home out of term dates should you wish to do that. A few, once again, contact details. You probably have all of this. You have been in touch. You are our applicants, but I'm posting them there. Maria, perhaps the key one is kbsadmissions@kent.ac.uk to put in the chat, and then the admissions CAS. That is for CAS issuance. Whichever one you email, please don't worry. Of course, our teams will be ensuring that you get your question answered. That is all from me, Maria. So I will stop sharing, and perhaps we can with having the nice slides there from Nicola about advertising our event on the 3rd of September, we would be very happy also to answer any questions that there still might be from our students today.
Thank you so much, Rita and everyone. We've got a lot of questions in the chat, so we can start answering your questions. We'll try to get to as many as we can. So first question, Zita, is can you connect with someone with the MSc in Healthcare Management or other courses, or send some recommendations so the students, the applicants, can have some insight in the field before they join us?
Absolutely, what a good question. And I do think that and that's why we have our students here, because ultimately for you to hear from students, somebody who's been through the experience, absolutely, that's the way to really get comfortable and ask lots of questions. So that opportunity is absolutely there. So if we will be pushing this onto our team to make sure that you will be put in touch with our current student. Very likely it's going to be a student ambassador or a course rep, who then you can agree a time mutually convenient to have either Teams call, Zoom call, WhatsApp call, whatever is the best way. So absolutely, it is possible for you to talk to our current or former students. And if anybody else would like to do that, just put it in the chat, and we will ensure to put you in contact with our existing students. There is also a platform, Maria, the TAP platform, that we can share with you, and you can use that to get in touch with current students. There are students from across the university, so you can talk to somebody from law, somebody from journalism, just to see, what is their experience. So it can be somebody from your course, but via that platform, you can talk to other students. And I think the final thing I just want to mention is you can talk to your course leads. We call your course leads directors of studies. So for each course degree that you have applied for to study, there is a director of studies. Now, Maria, if you could kindly post the link on, you can book a time slot, you can speak to your director of studies, you can email your directors of studies, and some of you may have received calls from us. So I have spoken to some of you already, and my directors of studies have already. So absolutely, you can talk to us, you can get in touch, directors of studies, students, student reps, ambassadors. Just tell us what is it and who would you like to speak to, and we'll be sure to get that set up for you.
Thank you, Zeta. Let's go to our next question. So we've got a student saying that they have applied originally for management. However, they're thinking of changing the course for finance and accounting masters, and they have done an undergraduate in finance. Sorry, thinking to start on the MSc in finance. Is it something that we can do? Is it possible from our side?
Yes. The first thing, so it is possible. Ultimately, you are at the stage of an applicant where you would be meeting the core criteria of our admissions. There would be, so for example, some of the heavier quantitative courses, those applications are checked by our admissions team to ensure that you have a quantitative background. What I seem to hear from this inquiry, there is an undergrad in finance already, so I would see that as that is fine to actually progress and be accepted, instead of a qualitative course. I assume that is international business and management, onto a more quantitative course such as MSc Finance or Finance Investment and Risk. And with exactly this inquiry, I would say that email KBS admissions with your applicant number and say, I hold an offer for this course. I am still considering, can I please apply for course XYZ? Again, perhaps just speaking to the director of studies, ask for an appointment and say, can I speak to someone to help me with that decision? Absolutely. So I am aware of the deadlines. I know that the CAS has to be issued against a course that you will come to study, and once CAS is issued, it is a little bit more difficult. So just bear in mind the deadlines that we have shared, and contact KBS admissions as soon as possible if you have not done so already. But the starting point is, yes, absolutely, should be possible, bearing the deadlines in mind, and we can look into that for you.
We've got a question from Toluwani that's asking, if I heard right, seminars done could bring in people in the employment sector and also connect you to them, right? If yes, do we get to meet them in person? I think they're referring to the latest visit to Kent Business School from Tucker Solomon, for example.
Yes, absolutely. And I'll hand over in a very brief moment to Nick, just to tell us about the engagement of employers as part of our co-curricular activity. Co-curricular means that when you do all the workshop sessions, everything else that the university offers in addition to your course timetabled credit bearing modules. But before I do that, I just want to stress that already as part of your course, your modules, you will have visiting speakers, live case studies. You will have opportunities to meet either online via Teams or directly in person, colleagues coming, and that is offered as part of your module, that you will have somebody coming and they'll say, hello, dear students, this is my problem. I work with your module convener, with your director of studies, and as part of your assessment, as part of your, I cannot wait because you will be helping me to address my problem and find solutions for my organization. So that's there as part of the course that you will take. But I'll hand over to Nick and perhaps Amanda as well, if there is anything else to add around the engagement. Perhaps Amanda to talk a little bit about the careers fairs and how the presence of employers is there as well. So I'll hand over first to Nick and Amanda to talk about all the other opportunities where our students meet employers.
Okay, and a fantastic question. Well done for thinking about that already. There are lots of opportunities to meet employers. You heard from Femi about how it was co-curricular activity that he attended that was being run by JP Morgan. So you'll have employers that are coming into your classroom. So for example, if you're looking to study logistics and supply chain, that might be a large global supply chain coming in to talk to you in your curriculum space. Or you might be doing a case study where you're asked to think like a logistics manager, for example. Co-curricularly, in terms of the Postgraduate Employability Edge, we have had Enterprise Rent-A-Car coming in, we have had Marlowe Consulting coming in, we've had alumni from Virgin, from Ocado. So lots of opportunities for you to actually meet with employers and with recruiters. Amanda, do you want to mention about the large careers fairs that happen?
Will do, thanks, Nick. Yeah, so we run 2 large careers fairs, one in autumn and one in March time. And those fairs will give you the opportunity, they're all in person on campus, will give you the opportunity to actually physically come and meet employers from a wide variety of sectors who are there because they want to recruit Kent graduates in some respects. And so you can start developing your networks directly with them. And so that's the 2 major events. But to complement that, we have a 2-week employability festival in October. The dates will be, I'll add the dates to the slides that you get sent. Again, which is a range of speakers, as Nick said, both alum, but lots of external speakers, lots of employers that want to come and network, that want to come and speak to you. So we will be actively, as I said in my slides, actively encouraging you to kind of engage, book to come in to those speakers. And then in November, we have a specialist week for international students to help you navigate the UK and the global market. So again, lots of employers. So as you see, the theme is to complement all of the work that's done by the business school. There's always employers on campus virtually. So we try to run that all year. So lots of opportunities, lots of brilliant opportunities to come and network. Was that covered? I think.
Yeah, beautifully, beautifully. I think, Maria, we're happy to hand over to you for the final questions. We are nearly out of time.
Thank you so much. We're nearly out of time. We'll try to take a few questions that are admissions focused to finish off. Apologies if we haven't managed to answer all your questions, but do email us at kbsadmissions@kent.ac.uk and we'll reply to you as soon as I can. I'll just go through a few more questions. I applied for a master's program on business analytics, but yet to be given admission. You just have to bear with us. I think we're looking through all the applications. I would urge you to email kbsadmissions@kent.ac.uk with your applicant ID number, and they will reply to you very quickly on what are the next steps or on your application. So another question is, the last alumni made mention of a visa application. I didn't get it. I think it was Nikki that mentioned the graduate route visa. When you finish a course in the UK, you are eligible to stay and seek employment for 2 years on what is called the graduate route visa. So as soon as you finish your course with us, the university has a dedicated visa and immigration service that will help you to apply for that graduate visa. And Nikki was saying that it's important to let your employers know that you do have this visa when you apply to them. It's going to help you go through the interview and all the processes there. So just a quick question on, I want to know the process of the visa admissions. As soon as you've got an unconditional offer from us, which means that you have met all the conditions of your offer and you have accepted this, then the CAS team of the university will just send you an email and let you know what are the next steps. You will be sent a pre-CAS, which you will check and approve, and then they will send you your CAS number. With that CAS number, you will be able to apply for your visa. So as soon as you've got an unconditional offer and you have firmly accepted that offer, we will guide you through as a university on your next steps. So in terms of how long does a CAS take to be issued, we're usually very quick with that to issue the CAS. What may take some time is for you to get all the documents together and everything that you need for that CAS stage. But we have an amazing system called Enrolly that does all that for you. And we also do pre-CAS interviews to make sure you're ready for all the UKVI requirements. So I'll hand over a question to you now, Zeta. There is a question on whether we offer higher national diploma in Kent Business School.
So as part of level 7, no. So we offer postgraduate degrees. We do offer apprenticeships, but this is for home UK students, or the employer needs to be registered in the UK, because that's a levy that they are utilising to finance this for their employees. If you are, if the question is about using prior learning and whether that would be acceptable to do a top-up to one of our degrees, then that is a question for our admissions colleagues, but not through a direct route. We offer MSc courses at level 7.
Let's take a last question. Unfortunately, we have run over time, but as I said, please do feel free to email all the questions that we didn't get to kbsadmissions@kent.ac.uk, and we will be able to help you. Last question then, can we get placements outside the UK? And what will be the criteria? Will be Kent kind enough to help us in this, or are there some insights on graduate management training scheme?
I will just start by saying, yes, you can, but I can see Amanda there unmuted and is posed to answer the questions from our side. I'll just start, yes, home or in your home country or even third country. But Amanda, I'll hand over to you for the details.
Yeah, sorry to jump in, but yes, you can get a placement in the UK and beyond. That's no problem. We have a full placement team that can support you through the process. And in terms of the insights on the graduate training scheme by the NHS, we, again, as some of our speakers, we have lots of, there's a range of graduate management schemes that are run by the NHS. And so we invite a range of those employers. So what I would encourage you to do, and I think my colleague Helen has put an email called careerhelp@kent.ac.uk. Like, if you have something specific in terms of the type of area you're looking to work within the NHS, because it's such a massive organisation, it might be easier to drop that email comes to the careers team, and we can give you some more tailored information. But yes, there's a variety of graduate schemes in the NHS, and they also come to our fairs as well.
Thank you so much, Amanda. There are a lot of questions specific about your course. Some of you are wondering if you have chosen the right course or if you would like to change a course. What I would suggest is to book a call with your director of studies, who will be able to guide you through and discuss this. I have just put in the chat the link where you can go and book a call with your director of studies to discuss this. And as I said, any admissions questions at kbsadmissions@kent.ac.uk. And I believe this concludes today's webinars. Thank you so much to the lovely panel that have taken the time to share their slides and to share their experience. Specifically, a big thank you to our alumni who took time out of their jobs to come in and help you today. Nikki, Femi, and Verna. Of course, so many thanks to Zita, Nicola, Amanda, and Helen, who provided this very useful webinar for everyone. And most of all, thank you to you, our future students. We are looking forward to welcome you in September. In the meantime, we will be in touch, and we were looking forward to see you at our next webinar on the 3rd of September. Thank you everyone so much. We'll see you at the next webinar. Goodbye.